Hi, ladies! Welcome, welcome, welcome! Welcome to our fifth session within 2 days. Welcome to the last session on day two of this five-part challenge. Now, six-part challenge, because if you saw my reel this morning, you'll know that this morning I decided to add a sixth part. Reason being is welcome first to session five, which is all about your strategy to scale. I'm so freaking excited. I've absolutely loved delivering this experience and doing all of these sessions in this short amount of time, seeing familiar faces come into each one, seeing brand new faces arrive to each one, and just delivering this multifaceted experience to help women no matter whether you are in your business, whether you're at 5k months, 15k months, 50k months, there is so much in here for you, whether you're someone that's focused on strategy, identity, all of the above. No matter which season of business you're in, there is plenty in here for you. So really, really excited to get stuck into today's training. The fifth piece in this series, which is your strategy to scale to 50 to 100k months by the end of 2026. Ooh, this is juicy. I know a lot of you have been looking forward to this one, especially. And I'll be honest, this is the one that I actually put the most prep into because I know that you want the good stuff. And so we're bringing the good stuff today. Who's ready to get stuck into some strategy stuff? Whoop, whoop. Now, as I said, this is actually the fifth in a sixth piece series. So tomorrow yes, it's going to span over 48 hours instead of 24, but I'm going to host a sixth piece. The reason being is that when I was looking at strategy, it seemed absolutely insane to try and pick, like, content is such a pivotal part of your strategy. And it seemed criminal to try and pack it into, like, as a small section within this training today. That would be absolutely criminal. Absolutely criminal. And so I decided to take it out and give it its own space, its own time to shine in a sixth piece. So we're going to do leadership content as a whole separate thing tomorrow, a separate training. Today we are just focused on strategy. Whoop, whoop. Are you excited? Are you excited? Let me know. Score out of 10 if this is the thing that you really want to get into, if you need to hear today, regardless of where you're at in your business in terms of your revenue right now. We are getting into it today. I am freaking excited. Now, over the course of this series, we've covered a lot on, we've done some strategy pieces like your authority, your messaging, your positioning, your offers. But over the more recent ones, we've been doing things that are more around your identity and who you're being. So this is your embodied leadership. This is the energy behind premium sales. So both of those are quite integral and identity pieces. Whereas now that we've locked in who you're being and how you lead and the standards that you hold, today we're getting into how you express that through your strategy so that you can be the person that isn't just dreaming about these high cash months, but you're the person who is actualizing it and materializing it and making it happen. Are we excited? Whoop, 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 whoop. So let's get into it. Your 50 to 100k months. I'm using pounds here, but it might be that you're working in dollars. And of course, take this with a pinch of salt because everybody's currency is different. Everybody's working with different offers, different price points. And if you're thinking 50 to 100k is quite a broad marker, the goalpost is quite large there. Yes, because I work with people who might work with 30 to 50k in a single offer with a single high ticket client, and they only need one client to hit that, for example. Whereas I work with other people who have lower priced offers but bring a high amount of volume through, whether it's like memberships, masterminds, and things like that. And so you're going to be able to take what you need from this. You and only you know your momentum, your demand, your capacity of what you can physically hold, both from a physical space and an energetic space. And so take what you need from this. We're going to get into the strategy of how you could scale to high cash months. What that looks like for you will be based on not just your structure, which we'll get into today, of how you plan to get there, but your physical milestones, your ability to actualize it, and your Actual plan to make it happen. Because we're not going to do just wish and a prayer around here. You need a solid structure and a solid plan of how we're making that happen. So your 50 to 100k months require clear commercial structure. We're not just pissing around here doing low cash months or signing a couple of clients. At this level, we're talking about signing either high volume of clients or very high level clients. So we need clear commercial structure. We need clear revenue projections and trajectory. That was a mouthful. Clear revenue projections and trajectory. And what I mean by that is a solid sales forecast and the actual momentum behind you to be able to hit that. We're not just setting nice little goals and then thinking, will it happen? We've got the actual momentum to make that happen. Repeatable sales processes, market leading demand, and support beyond yourself. So at this level, scaling isn't just about selling more or signing a few more high ticket clients. This is about having a really solid structure in place. So what this looks like is your offer ecosystem. We're going to be getting into each of these things today. Your offer ecosystem, your repeatable sales process, building hot demand, the demand required to hit that trajectory, and your actual strategy to scale, your actual sales plan to scale to 50 to 100k months in 2026. We're going to dive into each of these inside this training. Now, before we come into those things, the single biggest factor that is going to determine whether you hit that milestone by the end of this year is, does anyone know? Let me know in the chat. What is the single biggest factor that's going to determine whether you hit that milestone? If I was to give you a clue, the single biggest sign of health within the business. Some of you are saying cash flow, money. It's your recurring revenue. It's the single biggest sign of health within the business is your current recurring revenue. What is that figure? If I was to go to your Stripe right now and look at your monthly recurring revenue, what does that number say? How healthy is it? How far in line with where you're going and what you aspire to hit by the end of this year? How big is that distance between where you're currently at versus where you intend to be? And that's not a bad thing. Maybe you're not that far off and you're like, oh, do you know what? I've got actually really good monthly recurring revenue. And actually, me hitting 50 to 100k months by the end of this year is actually very doable. I'd only need to like either put my foot forward here or switch to some things up here. But like I can see the how. Maybe you're someone that's looking at your monthly recurring revenue and saying, do you know what? That figure is nowhere near where I intend to be by the end of this year, but that's okay because I'm taking ownership of it now. And we're going to get into the plan of how we're going to make that leap because we're not just gonna light some candles, manifest it, and wish and a prayer. We'll make it happen, women. So we're getting into the how. So this is not to shade anybody. I don't care what that current figure says. This is about you taking ownership of what that number is, irrespective of how you feel about it, to be like, okay, well, either we've got some work to do or this is very doable. In fact, both of those things. We might have some work to do and it's very doable. Yeah, little reframe for you. So the single biggest sign of health in your business is your recurring revenue. Your focus on stacking your recurring revenue will be the single most important thing to you as you're working towards achieving those 50 to 100k months by the end of this year. Keep that in mind. By October, November, December, as we're closing out the year, you could be walking into those final months of the year with already 30, 40, 50k of recurring revenue already locked in before you even start that month. Like you're coming into the month, it's the first of the month, and you've already got 30 to 50k already coming in from your recurring revenue. Think how much easier it's going to be to hit those higher goals when you've already got that locked in because of the work that you do now, based on what you choose to do now. So I'm going to ask you here, is this the year that you blow it out of the water? Is this the year that your P&L finally matches up with your capabilities? Is this the year that you blow past everything that you previously thought possible? Only you can decide that. Yeah. So a little get you ready, get you in the frame of mind, get you all fired up. Let's get into how to actually make that happen. So, number one, your offer ecosystem. This is your clear client journey of ascension through your core signature offers. This is your clear pathway for people who want to stay in your world and giving them the opportunity to either stay on or upgrade as they continue to excel with you. Your best clients want to stay in your world. Think about when you're part of a premium club or experience or membership. You want to stay on in that world. We as humans love finding our tribe. We love being part of a community. And this is why we have such high loyalty to a brand once we've found our brand. And you'll be able to relate to this, whether it's your favorite coffee shop, whether it's your favorite restaurant, whether it's a certain thing that you like to do on a Saturday at 10 a.m., for example. It's the things that we love to be a part of because either that brand matches our values, that community matches our values. It's a tribe that you feel part of, whether it's got a lot of people inside or whether this is you and that company or you and that brand, even if they don't know who you are, but like they offer you in the way that I've stayed loyal to Costa after all of these years, just because I worked for them in the early 2020s. It's been like well over 10 years. And yeah, if there's a Costa in the area, I will always choose that. Unless there's an independent, I do love an independent. But if it's between Costa and Starbucks, there's no question. And so we as humans love to find our tribe. And so once we're in, we would much rather stay in than go find something else and have to go through the new experience of, do we like it? Does it match up with our expectations? Was it, a good client experience? Do we want to go again? Because that's all a little bit of risk. And we would much rather return to something that we know is good than have to go through the effort of finding out whether something else is good. And so keep that in mind in your business. Your best clients want to stay in your world. They don't want the faff of having to go to somebody else in order to get better or great or anything similar that they had with you. So is that pathway clear? Is there the opportunity for your best clients to be able to stay on either long term and or upgrade as they continue to excel with you? You cannot scale on either one-time offers, an underpriced offer, unclear transformation, or offers or containers that rely on you doing absolutely everything. That is not sustainable. When we're talking about 50 to 100k months and the you who's holding this at the end of this year in 2026, your signature offers must solve a clear problem, justify a premium investment. Because if we're talking about the path of least resistance here, yes, you can get to 100k months by selling a low ticket offer to a really high amount of people, or we can focus on premium offers, premium sales, premium clients, and a premium investment, the VIP experience. So just recapping that, your signature offers must solve a clear problem, clear market need, justify a premium investment, and be deliverable without you hitting capacity. If you are, when we get into some number crunching later on in this series, but later on in this training, if you are mapping out some really big numbers of how many clients you're going to sign in like the 8th month of the year, but you couldn't actually hold that, there's no point mapping out numbers. You're wasting your own time. These need to be achievable with your capacity or knowing when you're going to be able to hire support, whether that's through systems or whether that's through teams, so that you can expand your capacity to be able to hold that level. So, some questions for you here. What is your core revenue driver? As in, which is your main signature offer, your go-to for the majority of your audience? Can your signature offer scale without more of your time? As in, can it serve more clients at once without it needing more of your time? And how much capacity can it, your offer, or you hold? How many clients can you reasonably hold inside your signature space without compromising on your client experience? Is that a large number or is it a small number? No right or wrong here. Does the price point reflect whether it's a large number or a small number? Write your answers down to those. Now, I just want to do some number crunching with you because I love doing this with my premium clients and my mastermind clients because sometimes when we're talking about numbers and revenue figures, it can seem really far away, and actually, it's really not. And so I love being the person that goes, it's just that, right? And it's actually only that. So I'm gonna play some of that with you right now. So if you're someone that is working towards your first six-figure year, 10 clients inside your 10k offer over the year is six figures. 10 clients over the year. 9 clients inside your 10k offer in a month is a seven-figure year. Let that sink in. So 10 clients inside your 10k offer over the year. So only signing one high ticket client per month is six figures. And yet for seven figures, that's only 9 clients inside your 10k offer in a month. 9 clients, and you're at seven figures annually. It's actually very doable. Even if you've got, let's just say, some quick maths off the top of my head, you've got a 5k offer. Okay, so you doing seven figures a year is now only 18 clients a month. That's like one launch. Maybe it's a mini mind where you enroll 40 people into a mini mind and 50% of them carry on into your high ticket offer. Maybe on the months between you launching, you go live once a week and 2 to 3 people sign up from that live. No launch required. You see how actually sometimes we're guilty of putting big numbers on a pedestal, and actually when you break it down and say, oh, it's only X number of clients inside my core signature offer based on the pricing of that offer, which equals this over the year. It's actually not that big or that hard. We're going to get into mapping your year, but I wanted to just break that down for you to see. Six-figure year is one high ticket client a month. A seven-figure year is only 9 high ticket clients a month. And that's in pounds as well, might I add. So if you wanted to do 500,000 this year, it's only give or take 5 clients inside your 10k offer. 5 clients a month. That's it. So lots of food for thought there. Very doable. So all of those numbers where we've just crunched it down, that's nothing as long as you've got hot demand. Now we're going to come back to that. Obviously, it's nice to say, oh, we only need X, Y, Z. But if we've not got the demand there, that X, Y, Z is just a feather in the breeze. Okay, so we've just looked at your core offer ecosystem, that clear structure, that clear pathway of ascension that serves your best clients who are getting excellent results, who want to stay in your world. Yeah, making sure that the messaging is tight for those things and that the journey of how to stay in your world and what that looks like is clear, both for people who are already inside your world and for people who are on the outside looking at where would I be the best fit? Is that journey clear? Now, coming into number 2, your repeatable sales process. This is a non-negotiable for scaling to high sales months and high revenue months. So if I was to ask you now, how do new high ticket clients find and buy from you? How do you pre-qualify prospective buyers to make sure that they're the right fit for your high ticket spaces? What opportunities do you create on a month-to-month basis to allow new potential high-level buyers to find you, get to know you, and either apply to work with you and or buy from you? What do you have in place in between that is evergreen and working for you 24/7? Now, if you don't know what you're doing month to month, You have no idea what's working well, how you're refining it over time, how you're improving it over time, where your results came from, what you could have done better, what was the reason that that thing went well or didn't go well, what your plan is to increase those results month by month and actually get better over time so that you're making less mistakes and you're repeating the things that are going well. And so we've got that month on month improvement. If you don't know what you're doing on a month to month and over the year, your business is built on guesswork. That is not sustainable. I talk about freedom all of the time, but you're never going to enjoy freedom if it's not underpinned with process, if it's not underpinned with structure. You need structure in order to have freedom. So, what is your repeatable sales process? How are you bringing in new leads, new prospects, new clients month in and month out? It can't just be guesswork. If somebody else had to come into your business today and pick things up, and you had to say, here's how the business brings in leads, here's how the business brings in clients, what would you say? What is that repeatable sales process? Could somebody else come in and repeat that? If they followed the steps that you do, could they follow those steps and get the same results? Now, when we're looking at high cash months, high sales months, multi five figure, if not six figure sales and cash months, high revenue businesses don't rely on just big launches alone. They have multiple ways for people, sorry, to enter into new conversations or new pathways coming into the business. There's multiple ways in. All roads lead to north. They have ongoing demand. So it's not a stop-start situation just in between those launches. There's ongoing demand and interest, measurable interest, trackable interest coming in all of the time. And there's clear steps for buyers at different stages. All of my clients who are doing 30 to 50k months now have a repeatable sales process in place. They know what they need to do to be able to scale that. Things are already going well and they know exactly what they need to do to be able to improve their results, improve their client experience without compromising on their own time, their own energy, their own capacity. There's no guesswork involved. There's no unknowns. There's no, I don't know what I'm doing this month. They know exactly what they're doing month to month over the year to scale their offers, their stability, and their service. They know what they're doing and why. And they have a fallback plan for if plan A doesn't work. So they have their sales pathways, the ones that are working for them 24/7, regardless of whether they're working at this moment or not. They've got the things that require their time and energy versus the things that are working for them in the background 24/7. So, what is your repeatable sales process? Can you clearly explain that to someone? Do you have things in place that are working for you 24/7? We're going to come into how to build the demand, but have you got your systems in place that can capture that demand? Is that clear? Now let's come into your strategy to scale, your actual sales plan for 50 to 100k months by the end of this year. Let's look at your plan for the year. What have you forecasted that your business is going to do this year in 2026? By the 31st of December, by New Year, what will your business have done? What was your forecast for that? Where is that revenue coming from? i.e., how many clients into which offer by which month? What are your revenue projections in terms of what's likely to happen, what you're excited by and could happen, and what is your holy shit, let's freaking fly to the moon happen? What are those three levels? I like to call them the likely, exciting, and the holy shit level. What are those three levels or targets for you? As in the one that is easy to do, like a average to bad year, you're going to do that. What's exciting? What's your like, if we put the foot down, if we get a little bit fruity, we can get over here. And what's the holy fucking shit? this is what I'm capable of and this is what I'm going for. What does that look like for you? Let's get into actually making this happen, shall we? Whoop, 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 whoop. Let me know in the chat. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments as well. Are you excited? PS, have you already done your plan for 2026, or is this the first time that you've looked at your annual trajectory like this? Because we're going to get into some juicy forecasting right now. So let's plan. Number one, I want you to write out the months of the year. Write it out. Up to you whether you want to go up until just December or do the full 12 months from the time of listening to this recording. Write out the months of the year. Number two, I want you to time block the time blocks where you're not available in that time. As in, maybe you've got a 2-week holiday in August, maybe they're school holidays, maybe you're attending a 7-day retreat in Bali. Like, put those things in now. As in, let's just block those out. Unless you plan to be selling during that time, which I'm all for, but I'm talking here about anything that you need to work around or times that you might be either more out of action or quieter during that time. I'll let you be the decision maker on that. So put in your time blocks. Next, number three, I want you to put in the big things that you're doing in business this year. So this is things like if you're hosting an event, if you are hosting a retreat, this is things like your launches. What are your big momentum things, like your big sales drivers, your big audience drivers, your big visibility drivers? What are those things? Let's put those against a month now. Put those things in. Be mindful of capacity. It's not likely that you're going to be doing something absolutely massive every single month. Equally, you can plan more than one big thing per year. Shake it up a little bit. If you've got an event in November, you could do a retreat in July, let's say. You could do 3 different online launches in between those in-person things. So put in your big milestone, your big visibility, your big revenue drivers, put those into the calendar now so that we can work the more smaller or evergreen stuff around that. Before we get into that, number 4, next to each big thing, put how much revenue you expect to make from that event or launch. How much do you expect it to bring in? And from where? As in, what are the products that you're selling at that experience? As in, is this revenue figure that you're working out now, is this from clients signed? Is it from tickets sold? Is it from merchandise sold? Is it for upgrades from existing clients, repeat bookings? What is it? So put how much revenue you expect to make that from that either event, launch, your big thing that you just put in. Put a figure next to each one so that we've got the big things all locked in. Now that you've got the big milestones in, we can work around that to look at the smaller things and the evergreen processes. So what are your revenue projections for the quote unquote normal months where there's not a big thing happening? Specifically, where is your revenue coming from in that month? And this is where you can get more into the granular things of, if I've not got a big thing on that month, maybe I am going to commit to an online masterclass and I'll do an online launch. Maybe I will go live every week and build weekly visibility and weekly trust. Maybe I will host a 1-month Telegram experience for people. Maybe I'll host a 1-month mini mind. Maybe I'll host a 2-week sprint. You've got a bit more flexibility. Once we've got the big things locked in, then we can get into the smaller things. So what are your revenue projections for just a normal month? There's no big thing happening. Specifically, where is that revenue coming from? Again, I want you to say, this is 5 clients into my high ticket offer. This is 10 clients into a low ticket offer, which I know in the following month will support that launch that I'm planning for. So where is your revenue coming from? Lastly, What is your plan to ensure that that actually happens? It's all well and good being like, I'm going to sign this number of clients in this month, and I'm going to sign this number of clients in this month, and this is going to make me X amount of money. Da 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 da. What's your plan to actually make sure that that happens? The marketing plan that builds the interest, leads, and demand required to meet the sales forecast that you've just mapped out. For example, if you've just said, I'm going to sell 400 tickets to an event, but currently you're only getting 1,000 views on a reel, you've only got a 20% email open rate, and there's only weirdos liking your LinkedIn content, we've got a bit of a gap between what's currently happening in terms of visibility and like your open rates versus the massive sales goals that you've got. There's a mismatch between numbers versus reality. We want to make sure that we really close that gap and that the numbers that you're currently doing match the trajectory that you want to go on. To give you some sales speak, what is your marketing plan to drive the number of qualified prospects into your pipeline? To give you some non-sales talk, what's your plan to get visible enough to allow hundreds of new great fit potential clients into your world month by month? Not once, not on a lucky month, repeatable. Map out your monthly plan of what you're going to either host, deliver, or launch each month to grow your company so that you can scale your revenue. What are the big interest drivers other than content? Because content is working for you 24/7, and we're going to cover that separately tomorrow. So, other than your content that is working for you year round, what is your monthly plan to drive extra interest, extra momentum, extra demand into the business? Write down a whole list of things that you can do. And then you can either put a single thing next to each month, or you've got your go-to list of big revenue, as in big momentum drivers. What are those things? Maybe you host a masterclass. Maybe you create a series where you go live on the first of every month. Maybe you do a podcast drive. Maybe you do in-person VIP one ticket, like small level mastermind groups, only for like 10 spaces, but that you do it regularly. Maybe you do big mastermind in-person experiences and it's really high ticket, but you only do it twice a year. There's loads of things you can do, but make sure you've got your list written down of how you're bringing new leads, new interest, new demand into your world, and have a good list of things so that you can fill out each of the months in your calendar so that you know, right, January, here's my plan. February, here's my plan. March, here's my plan. April, here's my plan. I know that in April, I'm going to bring in X amount, and here's where it's coming from. I'm going to bring in X number of clients paying at this price point, and the demand for that is because I'm doing this launch or this revenue driver. I'm hosting this experience. Get your months, month to month, mapped out for the year. It doesn't need to be some really in detail, really technical plan. And to give you evidence of that, mine is on one. What's the large one? It's not A4. It's not A5 is small. So it's on one A3 sheet of paper. My whole annual plan. One A3 sheet. I know exactly what I'm doing month by month to hit my revenue goal by the end of 2026. So do this for you. Map out your month to month. What's happening each month? What are your big things that you're working around or working towards? And what are your smaller things that are happening either 24/7 all the time in terms of your evergreen things, or your smaller supporting experiences or things that you're doing on those filler months, if you like, to support that big end of year goal? Are we enjoying this? Getting some number crunching on the go? To wrap this up, to scale sustainably, you need solid structure in place to scale your recurring revenue. One that serves your clients at a really high level through your offer ecosystem, through your repeatable sales process, clear offers, clear structure that brings people into those offers that are right fit clients, not just any Tom, Dick, or Harry. It qualifies people. Clear revenue plan. You know what you're doing month to month. Why? So we've got that focus, we've got that intention. We're not just forecasting, we're actually building the momentum and the trajectory to be able to achieve those revenue goals so that you can scale your company with ease, joy, and predictability. So that you can use this sales forecast to not just predict what you're going to do over the year, but to actually actualize it, to make it not just a sales goal, but a sales reality. Now, we've touched on some of the more hard things here, as in like your offers, your systems, the structure, your sales forecast. But we talked about building hot demand that brings so much of that demand into the business and your marketing plan that actually supports those sales goals, which is where your content comes into play. So we're going to be doing a whole other section on content tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And so I will see you there. Come along live. And I will be doing a whole section on leadership content so that you can do the exact what you need, how to position yourself differently, and to bring this through in your content so that your high ticket clients, your premium clients can see this and come into your world accordingly. We've talked about all these different marketing events and momentum drivers, but it can be as simple as people see a post of yours and it speaks exactly to them. And from a level that they know they're in safe hands. And so they come in and either drop you a message or say, send me the link, or how do I sign up? That is the level of demand we want to create from creating content that is excellent. So I'm really freaking excited to teach you the content, leadership content session inside the 6th session inside this series. In the meantime, I hope that you enjoyed this. Go map out your sales plan. Follow along through this, do your sales forecasts so that you know, break down your own numbers based on what your sales goal is for the end of this year. How many clients do you need to sign by which month, and how? What is the event or thing that you're making that happen into which offer? And not just numbers on a piece of paper, but actually a level that you can support and you know that you've got the offer structure there to be able to hold that capacity. This might even be something that when you're looking at these numbers, you then know, I need to hire a team member in around Q2. I need to make sure that all of my systems are set up this month so that by my launch in March, April, that actually I can bring 20, 30, 40 people in at the same time, and it's not me doing all the legwork in the background. Look at the company that you're building, the 7-figure company that you're building, what you want to be happening by the end of that this year. Let's say you're walking into your October, November, December, there's already 30k, 40k, 50k of revenue coming in from your recurring revenue before any new sales. What is the person, the version of you that is holding that? What has she got in place? What does her business look like? What does her team look like? What is happening for her that isn't currently happening for you in terms of things that are automated in the business, things that are happen that she doesn't need to action? How does she make decisions? Start looking, like, get clear on that person. Start doing those things now. What can you either bring into play, build, make sure that you've got in the back end so that both your clients are supported at a really high level and you are supported at a really high level so that you can be the person that makes this happen and you've got the structure in place to make it happen. It's one thing to have a vision, but that vision alone isn't going to get you there. Structure will. The world is full of dreamers. Anybody can dream about what they ideally want to create this year. Very few people are the ones that actually actualize it. This is how you're going to actualize it. I'm so freaking excited. I'm absolutely loving that you're loving this session. If you're watching on the replay, let me know if you enjoyed this. If you've completed your sales forecast, send it to me or just share with me what were the takeaways that you got from this session. Did you realize how achievable your big financial goal is? Is it achievable a lot sooner than you thought? Did it make you realize, if I was to host that experience or work in that way or actually bring that thing forward, then either things would be easier or I could serve my clients better. I can bring on that new team hire sooner. What were your big realizations and breakthroughs from this session? I would love to know. Send me a message. And in the meantime, I shall see you inside the next session. If you want to come and explore how to work with me further so that we can get into the nitty-gritty of this and I can support you as you're scaling your sales, your cash flow, scaling your offers, scaling your momentum, and making sure that we're scaling your identity and the version of you is holding all of this more capacity as you're going through the year, apply for either my She Scales Mastermind. There's She Sells there if you're earlier in business and you want to build up that demand through sales and through content and actually get some demand coming through and build momentum. But if you've built momentum and we're now scaling that, then She Scales is the version for you. In the meantime, ladies, I've absolutely freaking loved this, and I shall see you inside our 6th part to this series, leadership content. I shall see you tomorrow. Toodaloo.